Think about the businesses people love to talk about. Artificial intelligence startups, cryptocurrency projects, social media apps, electric vehicles, and revolutionary new technologies dominate the headlines. Every year, thousands of entrepreneurs rush into these industries hoping to become the next billionaire. But there's one major problem. When everyone is chasing the same opportunity, competition becomes brutal. Companies spend millions on advertising, fight price wars, and struggle to stand out. Many burn through investor money long before they ever become profitable. Now compare that to businesses like plumbing, HVAC repair, commercial cleaning, pest control, waste management, roofing, or self-storage. These industries rarely make the news, yet they solve problems that never disappear. Pipes will always leak. Offices will always need cleaning. Homes will always require repairs. People don't choose these services because they're exciting. They choose them because they're necessary. That gives these businesses something incredibly valuable: consistent demand. Imagine your air conditioner stops working in the middle of a hot summer. You're probably not searching for the cheapest option. You just want someone reliable who can fix it today. That's pricing power. Customers are paying for urgency and trust, not entertainment. The less glamorous the industry, the fewer people compete in it. And when competition stays low while demand stays high, profits become much easier to maintain. That's the first secret behind why boring businesses quietly create millionaires, while exciting industries often create headlines instead of lasting wealth. Now let's look at the numbers, because wealth isn't built on excitement, it's built on math. Imagine a small commercial cleaning company with just 200 business clients. Each client pays an average of $500 every month for regular cleaning services. That means the company earns $100,000 every month, or about $1.2 million every year in revenue. Now assume the business keeps a healthy profit margin of 20% after paying employees, supplies, insurance, and other expenses. That leaves approximately $240,000 in annual profit. That's already more than many doctors, lawyers, or executives earn. But here's where things become interesting. Instead of trying to invent another business, the owner simply repeats the same system. They expand into another city, hire managers, and open 4 locations. Suddenly, annual profit approaches $1 million without creating a revolutionary product. The same principle works for laundromats, self-storage facilities, car washes, vending machine routes, and waste collection businesses. Most customers pay every month, creating recurring revenue that makes income far more predictable than businesses relying on one-time sales. Predictable revenue allows owners to plan, invest, and grow with confidence. They aren't wondering whether the next viral trend will keep them alive. They already know thousands of customers will continue paying because the service remains essential. That's why boring businesses often become financial machines instead of risky experiments.
Here's a question most people never ask. If boring businesses are really so ordinary, why are investors willing to spend millions buying them? The answer is surprisingly simple. Investors aren't purchasing buildings or equipment. They're buying predictable cash flow. Imagine a pest control company that consistently earns $500,000 in annual profit. A buyer might gladly pay 2, 3, or even 6 times that annual profit to own the company. Why? Because the business has already proven that customers return year after year. The income is reliable, the operations are established, and the risk is much lower than starting from scratch. Compare that to many technology startups. Some are valued at hundreds of millions of dollars despite making little or no profit. Their value depends on future expectations, not current earnings. If growth slows, those valuations can collapse overnight. But a commercial cleaning business with long-term contracts keeps generating cash regardless of market hype. That's exactly why private equity firms spend billions acquiring plumbing companies, HVAC businesses, landscaping firms, and waste management services. They know that boring doesn't mean unprofitable. In fact, boring often means dependable. And dependable businesses are exactly what serious investors want. While everyone else is chasing the next exciting opportunity, experienced buyers quietly purchase companies that already produce real money every single day. If boring businesses are so profitable, why doesn't everyone start one? The answer has very little to do with money and everything to do with human psychology. People naturally crave excitement. We love dramatic success stories about young founders becoming billionaires overnight or influencers making fortunes from viral videos. Those stories receive millions of views because they're entertaining. But real wealth is usually much less exciting. Imagine someone saying they own 10 self-storage facilities or 3 plumbing companies. It probably doesn't sound impressive at a party, yet that same person could quietly earn millions every year. Social media creates another problem. Algorithms reward flashy lifestyles, luxury cars, and bold promises. Nobody uploads a viral video showing another successful week of septic tank maintenance or commercial cleaning contracts. As a result, people confuse attention with opportunity. They assume the most talked about industries must also be the most profitable. In reality, the opposite is often true. Because boring industries receive less attention, fewer entrepreneurs enter them. Less competition usually means stronger pricing, better customer loyalty, and healthier profit margins. This creates a powerful advantage for business owners willing to ignore trends and focus on solving everyday problems. Sometimes the greatest opportunities are hidden precisely because they aren't exciting enough for everyone else to notice.
Of course, no business is completely risk-free. Every company faces challenges, whether it's changing customer demand, rising costs, employee shortages, or economic uncertainty. But one reason boring businesses create so many millionaires is that their risks are often easier to manage. Think about a company that depends entirely on the latest social media trend. If the platform changes its algorithm tomorrow, sales could disappear overnight. Now compare that with a plumbing business. Homes will still have broken pipes next week, next month, and likely decades from now. Essential services don't depend on trends, they depend on basic human needs. Wealthy entrepreneurs also reduce risk by building systems instead of relying on themselves. They hire skilled employees, create repeatable processes, invest in customer relationships, and focus on long-term contracts. Many even diversify by owning several different boring businesses at the same time. If one industry slows slightly, another continues producing income. Instead of betting everything on one big idea, they spread their risk across businesses with predictable demand. That's why many millionaires think less like gamblers and more like engineers. They aren't searching for miracles, they're building reliable systems that generate consistent cash flow year after year. In the long run, reducing risk often becomes just as important as increasing profits. By now, one thing should be clear. Becoming wealthy isn't always about finding the newest opportunity. More often, it's about recognizing value where other people see boredom. The businesses that quietly power our daily lives, cleaning companies, roofing contractors, pest control services, laundromats, storage facilities, landscaping businesses, and repair services, may never become viral sensations, but they solve real problems every single day. And solving real problems is what customers consistently pay for. That's the exact math behind their success. Consistent demand creates consistent revenue. Consistent revenue creates consistent profit. Consistent profit increases business value, and valuable businesses create millionaires. The next time you see an ordinary service truck driving through your neighborhood or pass a self-storage facility on the highway, remember that it might represent a business generating hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars each year. The biggest mistake most people make is believing wealth only comes from extraordinary ideas. History repeatedly proves the opposite. Extraordinary wealth is often built through ordinary businesses that operate exceptionally well. So instead of asking yourself, what's the most exciting business I can start? Try asking a different question. What problem will people still be paying to solve 10 years from now? The answer to that question could completely change the way you think about money, business, and building lasting wealth. The biggest lesson from this video is simple. Wealth doesn't usually follow excitement, it follows value. While most people chase flashy trends and viral ideas, many millionaires quietly build fortunes by solving everyday problems that people will always pay for. The real opportunity isn't always the one getting the most attention, it's often the one everyone else overlooks. If you enjoyed this video and want more breakdowns of the hidden math behind money, business, and wealth, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications.